As for the cast, I don't think I have my favorites. I think I like them all pretty equally. He carried the show. His character carried the show. Not only that, but he's just the best. I think that he's the best out like the whole cast. Like, they're all good, but like he stands out. I'm making this video because I need to talk about it. I need to talk about it with somebody else besides my family. They're getting sick and tired of me. My mom's on the verge of putting me up for adoption because she's tired of me hearing me talk about it. So I'm going to talk to myself. There's nobody else here. But in theory, someone else will see this. And they'll be able to hear my very important opinions that I need to share. Okay? I just need to get it off of my chest. It's just something that's been weighing in on me. I need to talk about it. On April 15th at midnight, Netflix released a new show called Outer Banks. I'm not going to give you a rundown on what happens in the show because I already know what happens. I don't need to explain it to anybody else. If you don't know, go watch it yourself. Good show, 100% recommend. But basically, I'm just going to talk about like basically how I conclude, like my conclusions, like what I'm going to give a summary of like my final thoughts, and that is that's why, yeah. Yep. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. So my first impression of the show was, I thought it was an Australian show. So this is like the poster that I saw, and I saw it, and like the color grading of it made me think like it's Australian, like yikes. I didn't know where the Outer Banks was located, like actually located, until like last week when it's located in North Carolina. I thought it was like going to be one of those H2O series, and I was like, I don't really want to watch that, like gross, like not really the vibe. I was scrolling through Netflix and there was like literally nothing else to watch, and so I was like, you know what? Let me just look at the trailer. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I remember seeing the Chase Stokes on the poster, and I said, oh, he looks Australian. Like, obviously, he's Australian. So I watched trailer, and everybody has American accents.
Oh my God! Wow!
I said, whoa, like, what is going on? I decided, like, this trailer wasn't that bad. It seems pretty interesting. This could get pretty crazy. Let me just watch to see what happens. For whatever reason, the trailer was interesting enough where I was like, okay, let me just watch the first episode and then see where it goes from here. My camera is shaking a lot because I taped it to the side of the car and the door's open and it's like dangling. So yeah, I watched it and I was like, it was actually really good. I remember my friend called me and she's like, can we FaceTime? And I was like, no, like I'm kind of tired, like I have to shower and then I'm gonna go to bed, like I'm kind of busy. And then I proceeded to stay up till 8 o'clock in the morning watching the show. It premiered on the East Coast at 12 at midnight, and at midnight was when I was looking for something to watch. It was literally like 8 minutes after, and I just was like, I didn't even know it was a brand new show. I thought it was like some old Australian show about mermaids. I watched it and it was actually really good, and so I want to credit myself to the success of the series and like why it did so well, because I'm responsible for watching the show randomly, because I don't know who was in charge, like no shade, but like I don't know who was in charge of promoting the show, but they sucked at their job, because I had no idea that this was I didn't know the show was coming out. Like, it was a complete coincidence that I watched it the night it premiered, because I had no idea it was I just didn't know it was a thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know this sounds crazy, but I know that was meant to happen to me. I like don't want to start crying, but like I feel like that was so meant to happen to me. Like, I'm such a different person, and like just don't want to start crying anymore. But
like I just kind of wish that they did some more promoting about it, because I feel like, at least for my case, a lot of people didn't know about it. Nobody down here, I'm not in the South. Nobody here in the North was really talking about it, so I didn't know it was a show until I watched it. This is like my third time filming this. I have a list of awards that I think need to be given out to certain characters in the cast. So I'm giving this award because these two, you often don't see them like you just know that they don't shower. It's not that you don't see them shower, it's just you just know that they don't shower. I'm giving these to John B and Barry. One, because Barry just seems dirty. He just unhygienic, just doesn't scrub the back of his neck, doesn't brush his teeth with actual toothpaste. He probably doesn't use deodorant. I don't know if that's a Southern thing.
Oh wow.
But it's definitely kind of gross. And I think that John B also gets the award because he spends a lot of time away from his house. So he's probably not showering, guys. Like, think about it. Like, yeah, he's fooling around with people and everything, but in reality, he probably smells bad. That's something to actually think about because it's kind of gross if you think about it. Like, if you genuinely like comprehend it, it's disgusting.
I am disgusted.
The second one goes to definitely Key and Rose. Rose, because it was kind of scary how together she kept herself while everybody else in her family was falling apart. She like has that mentality where like when Ward was like, I'm about to die, I'm about to go to jail, she said, no, shut up, get it together, fix your face, get on that plane and leave. I don't want to see you in this house anymore. I want you to get out of here. I want to be rich. Like, I just feel like yeah, that's like not good, but also as a wife, go her. Like, she wins definitely Wife of the Year award. Oh my god, it's a trash truck. Back on topic. This one definitely goes to Key. I just feel like a lot of people would try to give it to Sarah, but I feel like she really wasn't though. Like, she didn't run things. Like, Key ran things, and I also think that she just like ran things in the friend group. She had it locked down together. She kept everybody together. She wrapped it up. She said, come on guys, let's get it together. Let's find his dad. So I just feel like that award really more goes to her than Sarah. I just feel like Sarah didn't really, she didn't really do much. She didn't get anybody together. She kind of just followed along. She came late in the game.
Fly, fly, fly. Scoochie, huh? I drink till I'm
definitely Weezy and Ward, because I don't know if it's a Southern thing, but both of those names sound idiotic to me. Like Weezy, if that's the nickname you want to be called, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, I would never want to be called Weezy. Yeah, and I just feel like Ward, I didn't really like comprehend that Ward was a Cameron, because I was like, what kind of name is Ward Cameron? Like, when I think it was like the first episode, I was like, I'm not comprehending that he was a part of the family, because I was like, why is that his name? Like, yeah, they were all in his house, but like, why was that his name? I just don't know. I let the John B thing go. Like, yeah, that name is stupid to me, but like, well, I mean, let me clarify. That name is stupid to people from here, because they're not from South Carolina. I understand it, but also I thought the name was stupid too. I thought it was good that they were calling him John B the whole time. The reason I think it bothered people is because there'd be situations where they would be talking really fast, but they would still say John B, and it just took up so, to say John B takes up like 30 seconds of your whole day, and I just feel like people wanted those 30 seconds back, so they just kept being like, why do they keep saying John B? But I get the point. I get it. I just kind of think it's kind of dumb. So basically, that's how I'm feeling.
What did you do, JJ?
I got a jet going straight in my butt right now. Y'all should get in immediately. You hear me? Salute!
I kind of have a couple. But I would say for sure my favorite scene is the hot tub scene, because I just feel like that scene was so emotional. Like, that scene really hit. Scene really hit here. Is this where your heart is? I'm not really sure where my heart is, but wherever it's located, it hit there. It hit there. It hurt. Like, seeing him just break down, that brought tears to my eyes. That brought tears to my mother's eyes. That brought tears to her mother's eyes. It just brought tears to the whole family. We literally, seeing him upset just hurt. And then, I don't know, like, to clarify, I'm talking about JJ, but just to see him upset is just like, it really hurt. It hurts. So I think that was definitely by far my favorite scene in the whole show.
Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home, honey. Ooh, Lord.
My favorite episode, I would say the first half of the first episode, everybody's introductions. I loved how they introduced everybody in the show. I think that the first half of the episode where they find the boat, like those scenes really highlight like the best of the characters, like the first half of the first episode.
I'm drunk, smoke till I'm high, castle on the hill, wake up in the sky, you can't tell me I ain't fly, I know I'm super fly, no.
This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm pretty sure I hear the ice cream truck, which is like really strange because first of all, it's a little bit early for them to be coming out. Also, it's just out of pocket. This seems like an inappropriate time to be like, you know, doing that. Like, I guess it's fine.
I'm super fly, now watch me fly.
So basically, I'm just gonna, I made a little paragraph because I couldn't really formulate why. Like yesterday I was looking back at the footage, and I was like, I never really formulated a real reason why I liked JJ and Key so much. Yeah, I would say that like I wouldn't say this, but people like who know me would probably like to say that my favorite might be Rudy Pacau. I don't actually know how to pronounce his last name. He says it a lot, but he's also from Alaska, which is basically just Canada, but with like American money. So I'd like to believe that he just says it in his accent and my accents are different. So I think that prevents me from saying it the way that he says it in Alaska. I would say that he is my favorite, and that mainly has to do with the fact that his character that he plays is my favorite character of the show. I think that the show wouldn't be Outer Banks if JJ wasn't in those scenes, if JJ wasn't walking around trying to shoot people with a gun. That sounds crazy, but I swear it actually fits into the plot really well. He doesn't just like walk around with a gun. Like he does, but he doesn't, you know? Like there's a purpose, like there's a reason. Like there really isn't a reason, but there's a reason. And it was just coming off as me like literally fangirling over the actors. And I do fangirl over them, and they do get higher respect for me because of that. But also, I finally formulated, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I finally formulated a real reason for why I actually like their characters so much. So, the reason that JJ and Key hold the spot as best characters because the two of them really seem to be the anchors of the group. They did. They really just seem to be like what holds the group down, what keeps them sane. Whenever someone is upset, like Key's that anchor, she's that person that reels them back into reality. And I think JJ's that kind of person where, you know, even though he might not 100% fully understand or comprehend why you're doing what you're doing, he'll still have your back and he'll still be there to support you. So Key was always there for every single one of them, and she always knew what to say to make them feel better. She always was there to comfort them, and I just really think that as a character is something that's really good to not just be able to do that to one person, because Sarah was able to do that to John B, but she wasn't able to really provide that for everybody else. So that for that reason, she didn't get the best character.
Did I lie? Did I lie? Did I fucking lie?
I don't really know if I'm gonna make another video or like how long it'll take before I do, but I've been sitting on a couple ideas, so I think the next video will probably just be me telling a story. I've lived. I don't know. I've led. Yeah.